Well, how y'all are, folks? And today we're gonna do a pork shoulder. I've had some requests, people asking me how I cook a pork shoulder, the way I do it, the methods I use, the temperatures I cook them to, and so I figured I'd just do a video and share that with all of y'all. Some people get intimidated by thick cuts of meat, like a pork shoulder or brisket, so on and so forth, and they're relatively really easy to do. They just take time. So stay tuned and I'll take you through how I do one. Alright folks, so I got a boneless pork shoulder here, and I picked this up a while back. I had it in the freezer and decided it was time to cook. And so what I like to do, when they're boneless like this, you can cook it whole like this, and I certainly did that for years, and I quit doing it that way, and I can't remember where I saw it, but old boy cut his in half, pretty much butterflied it, and so I started cooking mine that way, and that's what we're going to do right now. We're just going to take a knife, try to catch it in the center point, cut it through. Now, if you got a pit big enough, let me open this up here. See, well, gotta finish cutting through it here. If you want to leave this dude open like this and cook it like this, there ain't nothing wrong with it. The method still works. But on my particular pit, in the center of the pit is the fire cup on that pellet smoker. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this dude all the way in half, and that way I can place this on the pit, both sides of that fire cup, so that I don't risk burning the crap out of it. And then so from here we're going to go ahead and season this up. And the first thing I like to do, and y'all probably going to look at me like I'm crazy, but I got a little bit of crab boil here, and so I'm going to put a little bit of this on here. We're going to use this kind of as our liquid to help hold the rest of our seasonings on there, as well as this itself is going to add seasoning to it. And the reason I started doing this, I was watching a show one day, and an old boy in Louisiana, I think he's around Lafayette, he did some pork chops like this, and I tried it and I thought, dadgum, that is good. And so I tried it on the next shoulder that I did. It turned out really good. Now, I've also used it and injected it. Don't do that. That turned out to be way too much flavor in there. But we're going to let that crab boil sit, and then we're going to go ahead, and I've showed this to y'all before, this honey hog or honey barbecue rub from Suckle Busters. Again, I like this on pork. It's got a little sweetness to it that I really like. We're just going to put that on there. Get it fully coated real good. And then I'm going to add a little bit of my house seasoning, which again is just salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. Just going to put this on here, and then I'm going to let this set for a little bit, let that seasoning kind of adhere real well, and then we're going to flip it over and repeat the process on the other side. Alright folks, so we got our other side seasoned up. Just going to kind of press that down on there. And then what we're going to do, I got a self-cleaning pan here. We're just going to lay them in there. I'll cover it with foil, because again, if you put any kind of raw meat in your fridge, you want to protect it from absorbing any kind of flavors you might have in your fridge, like an onion or lemons, or any kind of citrus stuff like that. But we'll cover this with foil. We're going to let this sit overnight, and then tomorrow we're going to fire up the smoker and get these going. Now, I'm sure y'all are kind of wondering why I cut it in half, and the basic reason for that is it cooks quicker. You know, typically a shoulder is a 12 to 16 hour cook, and you know, especially if you got one with the bone in it and you're cooking it whole. I buy the boneless because I like not having to cut the bone out, and I also like cutting them in half because it cooks a lot faster. We can probably get this down to somewhere between 8 and 10 hour cook time, depending on how it looks. So we're gonna let this set in the fridge overnight, and I'll be back with you when we go to put it on the pit. Alright folks, so it's the next day. Just got our pieces of shoulder out of the refrigerator, and I'm just gonna add a little more seasoning where I might have missed a little spot, or where it might have come off. Got the pit going outside, and got it coming up to temp. So we'll get these flipped over, do the other side, and get them out on the pit. Okay folks, as we previously talked about, that fire cup's right here in the middle, so I'm going to place these shoulders on either side of it so they don't get burnt from all that heat coming up. We're just going to place them on there and let them run. So it's about 1:20 in the afternoon, and we're going to let these run 5, maybe 6 hours. We'll see how it goes. We'll check the temp. What I'm looking for is an internal tip around 200. So whatever it takes to get them to that point. I'm running them on the pit right now. I got the pit running at 225, and then we may bump that heat up a little bit depending on how they're doing. Alright folks, so our pork shoulder's been on. Been about a good hour and a half. We're getting close to, actually closer to 2 hours. And so I'm going to flip it over, but I wanted to show you, I make a mop to kind of put on the outside of it. It helps it retain moisture, so on and so forth, plus add more flavor. And I'm not going to share my specific recipe because you may have your own mop that you like, that you use. This is one that I've used when I was doing competitions. I used to use this mop, and I will tell you, some barbecue sauce, a beer, butter, and a vinegar-based hot sauce will get you a good start, and then you just play with it from there and make up your own. But we're going to take this out there, flip them shoulders over, put a good mop on them, and then keep them running. Alright, so got our shoulders going here. Give that one a flip. Give that one a flip. Ooh, Scooby snack. Can't be turning them down. Oh, that's good. Funny thing, the pest control guy just come by. He goes, man, what are you cooking on that pit? I said, pork shoulder. He goes, man, it sure smells good. So I just drizzle this on here. That's why I use these silicone brushes. That way I ain't got to rub the meat, touch the meat. I just kind of take it, drizzle it on there. That way I'm not knocking seasoning off. coating on there. And we'll let them keep running. All right, let's take a look at what we got. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll go ahead and flip them dudes while I'm there. Put a little mop on. Oops, almost forgot. Check the temperature of these. Let them run a little bit. They were only at about 170. So at 180, I think they absorb all the smoke they're going to absorb. We're going to take and pan them up and then run them up to that 200 temp from there. All right, we're going to take a look, see what we got. Almost done. So what I'm going to do is pan these up. And the reason I pan them up is to retain the last bit of moisture and juice in them. Plus this helps tender them all the way up. So we're gonna let them ride a little longer. Okay folks, so took this off the pit. Hadn't opened it yet, but I think it's pretty doggone good looking. So we're going to shred this down. I just want to, ooh, oh yeah. So I went and grabbed another fork just to kind of do this again. This is that center of that shoulder where there's a lot of connective fat and stuff in there. The rest of it's pulling fairly well. All right, folks. So I got it all shredded up, and I'm kind of leaving it in a little bit bigger chunks because of what I got in mind of doing with some of it. But you can see as I'm picking it up, it's coming apart fairly well. You do have parts of the shoulder because of all the interconnecting tissue and whatever inside the shoulder that makes it a little tough. But I just started pulling it by hand. That's how I normally do it. It makes it a lot easier, but the meat's real tender, real good, and you can probably see how juicy that is. And the only thing that's in here is the juice that was in the pan. I have not added the sauce to it because while I was sitting here pulling it and thinking about doing something else with this meat, I didn't want to add that sauce. But I will tell you this, that hint of that crab boil shines through on this ever so slightly. It's just enough where you can taste it. So again, folks, I had to adjust the camera, but I haven't added any sauce to this, and you can see how moist that is. And I keep shoving it in my mouth because it's so good, but that crab boil gives it just that extra little oomph, and without overpowering it, that I really like it. So give it a try. I'm not saying this is the best way of cooking shoulder or how to do it. I'm just wanted to show y'all my method of doing it and how I like doing it. So I appreciate you watching. Hey, if you want to see more of my cooking videos, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you get notifications on the next videos that I post. But other than that, I'm gonna get busy bagging this up. Thanks for watching.